Hi, this is Jay Ray. A couple months ago, I did a video on how I changed my front brakes to the PowerStop Z36 package, but when I did that, I made one of the biggest mistakes I ever could have made. You want to know what that is? I'll show you right here in just a minute. Alright guys, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but if you look at this rotor right here, it is a little bit worn out. It's got some grooves in it, and started making some noise on me a couple weeks ago. So what's the biggest mistake that I made when I upgraded my front brakes? Simple. I didn't think about the rear brakes. Alright, so when the manufacturer sets up your vehicle brakes, they get a certain ratio front to rear brakes as to which ones grab first, which ones have more stopping power. But the rear brakes are just as important in helping stop your vehicle as the front brakes are. So just want you to keep in mind when you check your front brakes to also check the rear brakes. Alright guys, so as I mentioned a couple months ago, I changed the front brakes on my 2003 Dodge Ram 2500. But I made one big mistake. So what was that big mistake? As I just showed you, the mistake that I made was I didn't check the rear brakes. I should have checked the rear brakes on my truck to see if they needed replacing as well. Turns out they do, because as I took a closer inspection on my rear brakes this last week, it looks like the rotors are pitted and worn. They got some grooves worn in them, and the pads are worn out pretty well. So what I've got here in this box is the solution to my problem. So I'm going to be unboxing this right now in this video. Hope you don't mind. I'll show you what I got. Alright, so what I got here, this Extreme Z36 brake pads. These are the carbon ceramic brake pads, the same thing that I put on the front of my truck. These are from PowerStop. I also got the rotors as well. Now the outside of the box does have a little bit of damage on the bottom of it, but I'm going to check these rotors just to see where we're at. Alright. See, the rotor comes in a package. It's got a plastic wrap around it to help prevent damage, as well as it's in a separate box. Each rotor has its own box and its own plastic wrap around it. And as you can tell here, I'm not sure if you can see that, but they do have a label for which side that they go on. So that just helps clear up all confusion. I went with the drilled and slotted rotors again for the rear, just like what's on the front, because I did notice that my truck is stopping a little better than what it did from the factory. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with that on the rear and just see if that can improve my performance even more. And of course I'll give you a review after I get some time on these rotors and pads, just to let you know what my thoughts on them are, and also after I get a chance to do some towing with them. Well, I only pulled one rotor out of the box a minute ago, so I want to go ahead and make it fair and pull out the other rotor. Now this one is the one that was on the bottom of the box, and it does have some damage on the box here as well. You can see this little hole right here where the rotor kind of came out just a little bit. But go ahead and pull the rotor out, take the plastic off, and we'll take a look at it. Alright, so right here is where it was sticking out of the box a little bit. It seems like it maybe get a little rub right here, but that's nothing structural. It's not going to affect the operation of the unit. For the most part, looks like it's in pretty good shape. And these things are pretty heavy. I'd say they probably weigh 35 to 40 pounds. But doesn't look like there's any damage to it. So I'm going to go ahead and make another video when I get a chance to get these installed, and I'll post that when I'm done.